Mead, almost dead. Louverture, it was dead from the beginning. Vapor nodes, another one that is melting by the day. Tor, yeah, 90% down. Strong, 95% down. Zeus, 78% down. Cubo, 86% down. Playmates, 90% down. Comb is the one that is doing a little better, 66% down. Of course, all of these values are from the all-time highs. Now, you might be saying that I'm being unfair because I'm taking it from all-time highs. But I am willing to bet that 80 to 90% of the people who got into these projects, into these nodes, they did get in close to all-time highs than they did to the bottom. This is the unfortunate truth, and this is why the majority of these people now are against nodes. I see on a bunch of Discord servers, on my comments down below, that people are mad. People don't want to get into nodes anymore. Well, of course, this is what Ponzonomics are. This is what a Ponzi scheme is. If you get late, you're never making your money back, or it will take you way more than advertised for you to get your money back. Because of course, whoever got in pre-sale or right at the launch of the token of the node, they already made 300, 400, 500x on the project. So everything that they make, they of course are not going to compound them more. They're just going to sell. Hence the selling pressure. Comb is the only one that in the past week has been going up instead of going down like the majority of, like 99% of these nodes. So you either find these kind of people who say, hey, nodes are scams, don't get in, I got rugged, so you shouldn't get in either. And on the other hand, you have these guys that, hey, I made 5x, I made 10x, I made 100x from this node XYZ. The harsh reality, which I think I even said in this video right here about nodes, is that nodes are profitable for those who get in early, for those who get in pre-sale, whitelisting, stuff like that. This is the best scenario for you to get in. So if the node doesn't pull a fast one on you and the devs don't run away with your money, then you will see a big pump right at the beginning, the majority of the time followed by a big dump, because whoever made 10x, 15x, 500%, 700%, I've seen even 2000% in a single day on node projects. Of course, you need to get out. You're gonna get out. You're gonna get out with the majority of your money and just leave what you started with there compounding, or there just to generate passive income. So does that mean that you shouldn't get into nodes? Yes and no. I'd say get into nodes if you know what you're doing, or if you have spendable money that is not going to affect you if it goes away, which majority of the time it will happen. Or for example, if you find a bottom, for example, let's look right here at Comb. Let's say you buy this bottom right here. Hey, look, you're already up over 100%. Let's say you bought right here, 135%. So you should have made your money back by now, or at least your passive income should be way higher than you got in. So your ROI should be way smaller than it would have been if the price would have stayed steady, if the price would have stayed the same. Again, I'm not saying you should get into Comb right now, and I'm also speculating that you're able to get in at the bottom, which no one is. It is very hard for you to understand, for you to find out when there's a bottom, when there's going to be a correction, when there's going to be an uptrend. Those are very hard things to do. You need to be an analyst, you need to know your stuff in technical analysis and tokenomics and stuff like that, or even the hype of the moment, new features launched and stuff like that. So as I said, if you have spendable money that you don't really care if it goes away or not, if you make it back or not, then yes, get into these nodes. Try to get in as early as possible in projects. Find whitelists. Find projects that are not even launched yet, so you can get into the Discord, get a feeling on the devs, how to respond to people, how they treat people, what they're sharing about the project, what they're not sharing about the project. And that will give you a higher win rate than you just see it on Twitter, see on YouTube, and then you just go, hey, I'm gonna ape into this project. Why am I saying that? Because I'm also one of these people who are just seeing stuff on YouTube and on Twitter and did little to none research and just ape in. This will not only delay your financial freedom, as it will just make it way harder for you, especially if you're starting with a tiny amount of money like I am. With the market looking like it's going to go sideways for quite some time now, We saw Bitcoin starting to rally and then it lost momentum. Now it is down again to around 40K, 41K if I'm not mistaken. This might mean that we're going to be on a sideways market for a little bit, especially with high inflation on the USA, wars, stuff like that. Globally, we're not doing so good. The whole planet is not doing very well. So that also affects our crypto economy, of course. So what would I recommend? Don't get into famous node projects. Well, don't get into Strong right now. Strong has been melting. People are actually really, really mad. Look at this. Let me show that to you. Imagine getting into Strong right here around 600. I saw a lot of people got in at around 400. When it went under 400, everyone was like, hey, this is a big buy right now, big buy, because they're working on their own chain, stuff like that, Stronger, all these tokens that they will be building, their own chain they will be building, and boom, melts. It is less than when it started, because it started at around $200, and look at this. It is lower than it started, lower than the launch price. So you can see how that would make some people pissed. And of course, maxis are like, hey, buy the dip, buy the dip. Whoever is already in, whoever makes their money back, of course, they're going to be buying the dip. But you don't have any guarantee that if you get in right now at $38.03, it just fell down a little more. You don't have any guarantees that this won't melt anymore. Because, for example, 24 hours, in 24 hours, there has been double the amount of sell orders than buy orders. 6 hours, same, 38 sell orders, 15 buy orders. 5 minutes, one sell, they sold $390. So you can see there's people taking profits, and they will be taking profits on you. So I don't recommend for you in this maybe sideways market right now, this sideways economy. I don't recommend you to get into any of these already existing nodes. So Mead, Louverture, Vapor Node, Tor, Strong, Zeus, Cubo right here, Playmates, I think just fooled everyone with their funny name. And Comb, it is the one that is looking the best out of the worst here. So congratulations to them, I guess, for being able to hype it up back to 136, because they were around $50. So they did a pretty good job. So let's see how long that will last. But what instead should you be doing? Because you see these tokens from all-time highs, they melted over 70% in average. In average, all these nodes right here, they melted more than 70%. Comb being the only one under 70% at 66. But if we get to Mead right here, all-time highs down, we're looking at 70%. Louverture also 90 something percent. Yes, 90%. We go to Vapor Nodes, we pull from right here, 89%. Tor, same thing. We go from right here, we're looking at a 97%. Strong from $1,200, 96%. Zeus, same thing, 78%. Cubo, 86%. Playmates, it will be something ridiculous like that as well, 90%. So you can see that is a higher average. And right here is not because the market has been only going down. The market actually rallied up quite a bit from these all-time highs. Because if we take, for example, February 10th, if we go to Bitcoin, actually here it did go down, but it also rallied back up. It ran back up once, twice, but right here we don't see any of that. Let me go back. What was it? Vapor Nodes. From right here, there hasn't been any spikes. There hasn't been any going back up to all-time highs, which happened to Bitcoin, happened to Ethereum, happened to altcoins in general. So that brings me to my second point. What should you do? Well, I'd say go farm. I've already made a bunch of videos here about yield farming with blue chips, with yield farming with governance tokens and stablecoins. Like, for example, the biggest position I have right now is MMF USDC. Of course, they also have suffered quite some meltdown, but I'm still profitable. I'm still above the price that I entered in. I still have more money than I deposited, which is what matters. If you have more than when you started, you're in the green. You're making money. You're profiting. So, for example, if we look at all-time highs, how much have blue chips melted from all-time highs? So some of these blue chips, the all-time highs were even before some of these nodes existed. We can see that they didn't melt as hard. So let's go back, for example, right here to Bitcoin. Hey, look at the 67 mark, 68 mark. Hey, 41%. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum also 37%. Solana was at over $259. How much? 61%. Then we have Phantom. Phantom melted quite a lot, but still 65% less than these nodes. And Avalanche all-time high was in November. We take right here 138, 44%. So you can see these blue chips, they melted way less than all these node projects. What does that mean? It means that if you were farming these blue chips, especially these blue chips with a stable coin, so let's say Avalanche USDC, Avalanche UST, Avalanche MIM, or Phantom USDC, Phantom MIM, Solana UST, whatever. These farms would have been more profitable for you than the majority of these nodes, because as I said, the majority of the people who get in nodes, they don't get in at all-time lows. They don't get in at pre-sale. They don't get in at whitelist. No, they get in after the hype. They get in because they see on Twitter, hey, there's this node right now is paying influencer X a lot per day, like $200-300 a day. This guy is making bank. I should get in as well. This is what they see. So the strategy would be for you to, instead of focusing your money and your time and your research on that, you should focus your research on these yield farms with stablecoins, using blue chips, or for example using governance tokens, like for example a Joe UST, a Spirit Swap UST. I don't know. I'd rather you focus on blue chips and stablecoins, or for example a Bitcoin ETH pair. They usually pay around 11 to 15, 16% APR, which is decent for the biggest tokens in crypto. So it is decent for you to be making that APR per year. I don't think it is bad for you, especially because these assets tend to go up over time. So they're safer bets, but they do have high returns compared to even these nodes. And of course, if we actually see, for example, a sideways market, like let's say it stays like this, the best option for you to do is use perpetual protocol. I already talked about perpetual protocol here in this channel because they work in the range. So you will be liquidity mining these tokens. The APRs are awesome. You have an APR for the liquidity mining itself, and you have a base APR. So for the liquidity mining, as long as it stays inside the range, you will be profitable. So let's say you're on perp, you're liquidity mining Bitcoin. So you put over there a range from $50,000 to $34,000. Well, as long as the price of Bitcoin stays inside this range, you will be farming not only the base APR, which I think it was over like 10%, something like that, 12%, but also earning the liquidity mining because it is inside the range. Of course, the shorter the range, the tighter the range, you'll get more, but it can also mean that eventually the price will extrapolate over or under your range. So you have to close that position and open another one so you don't lose any money. So just to reiterate, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't join node projects. You should be on the lookout for node projects because those are great ways for you to grow your capital. Like in one night, in one day, in less than 24 hours from launch, you can just grow your capital an X amount of times. But it also means that you should beware of joining these nodes once they're already fully deployed and they have hit all-time highs already. You should be aware that if it hits all-time highs, if it already passed all-time highs and you are on a low, it means that you're buying what someone else is selling. So you're holding someone else's bags. So I hope this was insightful to you. If it was, consider scrolling down just a tiny bit. You click the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification so you don't miss the next videos. That will mean a lot to me and it really helps the channel out. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another. Peace.